Guys, welcome to the session. My name's Paul, this is Plan Z, and we're going to be diving into my Boss GT1000. Today it's going to be all about the diamond amp, so that's the Boss version of something like an AC30. I've got it going, my main outs are going into a pair of 2 notes cab amp, where I've got the AC30 Voice 30 with the EL84 simulation going on it. This is my clean VOX. I want to, just before I get started, I want to apologise to Tim. I did say to him a couple of weeks ago I was going to look at this. So let's dive in. So what I've done is I've got a low gain. Actually, I'll talk you through the patch first. We'll do that. So the first thing I hit is an EQ where I take out my low end. And in this one, all I'm doing is the low cut, and I'm doing that to 125. Okay, now we're going to jam with some beats and bass in a minute, and you'll understand why I've done that cut. I've got a tube screamer in the mix, we're going to look at that in a second. But this is my low amp. Let's just have a quick look at the low amp settings. Actually, before we do that, I'll show you the EQ. So there's 2 EQs happening. We've got the first one after this amp. I'm taking a little bit of low end out, and what I want you to pay attention to is how much low end I take out of these amps to sit with a mix, so it doesn't go woofy. I've got 1 dB of low gain out in the master here, pushing the highs a little bit, and I'm giving the overall level a boost. And I've done that because I've taken out a sharp spike of 3.15 Hertz, where I found it a bit fizzy in these areas. And I dealt with the 4K, where I take a slightly wider Q, and I take about 2 dB out, I think. Can't quite see the screen as well as you can from where I am. Okay, and then here there's no high or low cut. Now in there I've got my sheriff, but we're going to ignore the sheriff for this session. And here I would have an EQ that's dealing with both the sheriff and my Boss amp. You can see I've pushed the level by 4. I've taken out 315. Now I was taking this out before the amp before, but I'm preferring how it sounds taking it out after the amp. Take 2 dB out there, and I take out a chunk of 500 on a really wide Q. Okay, now if I bring that in, I'm going to have a slightly warmer tone. Let's go back to this clean amp. And then I've got my high cut at 8K. Okay? Now let's come back to the amp, where in my clean amp, I'm just pushing the gain above 50, so at 54. Sag and resonance at 0. Now I played around with this, and I actually prefer the results at 0. Boosting the level at 75 there. Now I've got the bass on this channel at 33. Pushing the mids a little bit to 57. Got the treble, got the presence. Okay, and here you can see I'm in the low gain. Now let's go across to this amp here. Now this amp is set to change. If you watch this here, when I hit my control, it's going to engage the amp, and then my next control I can switch between high gain and medium gain. So this is the medium gain amp. I've got the volume pot on the guitar at about 8. Now I've got the gain at 67, and if I pull back on the gain pot, it cleans up really nice. Bring that gain back up. Now here I've pulled the sag back, but left the resonance at 0. Again, I have played around with this. The level at 51, so I've just leveled all of these 3 amps against each other. Now the important thing here is the bass. The bass is at -14 on a medium gain, look. I'm pushing the mids to 61. And I've got my treble at 58. Now the presence here, I'm going to show you something in a little second. We're now going to engage the high gain. So here you notice my presence jumped. I've taken 1 dB out of the bass there, so this is 13 compared to 14, and I've pushed the mids just 2 more digits here. I find it really sensitive. Now watch my presence knob. You'd have thought the higher this number, the more high end you get, but it's actually the opposite with this amp, I found. So I'm just going to strum this chord, listen to the highs. Okay, so you lose all the highs when you push all your presence. So let me just hit my engage there. So back to where I was. Okay, so now let's go into the first part of the amp, where I've got my gain at 63. And I've just dropped the level to 49 there compared to the medium gain, which is at 51. Okay, so now the next thing we want to look at is my tube screamer. Now I was specifically asked to look at a tube screamer on this amp. Now naturally I wouldn't choose a tube screamer to put on this amp because the AC30 pushes those kind of nasally mids, and your tube screamer does the same thing if I remember right. So, but we're going to stick it on. This is on a medium gain amp. I've got the drive at 40. Bit of the tone off my -4. I've only got my level at 58, but if we go into the next page, I've taken a bit of bass out. You can take out a bit of the bass out here, so I've done that. Let's go to the low gain. Gonna stick a compressor on that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the medium gain. Compressor off. Okay, now my compressor is down the end of the chain here. You can see me click it on. Stereo compressor I'm using because I'm sending a stereo signal. I can split using this divider here. Let's take that off. Back pickup. Okay, so that's that patch there. What we're going to do is we're going to save that as it is. Actually, let's save it with the compressor on. And then what we'll do, we're just going to go into another patch now. What I might do is change the view. Hang on. Okay, guys, so here we are. We've got the gain pot on the guitar and the neck pickup on about 8. We're in the low gain. When that is red, that's the medium gain, and that's my high gain. Let's go both pickups. Okay, there's my compressor. There's my tube screamer. There's some reverbs if I want them. I've also got a delay cooked into that, and here we've got a phaser. But I've got 2 patches here. They're identical. They're a copy of each other. I've just added an octaver onto this one. This is clean and okay, so we've got a 60s fuzz on there as well. Now in this patch I can split out into stereo, and that's 2 separate amps, one each side, and there's one amp on its own, and there's another amp on its own. They're EQ'd slightly differently, and they're pushed slightly differently. I've got the same thing here, but a medium to high gain. So the first one there was low to medium, this one's medium to high. 2 amps, remember, 1 each side. So we're not going to dive into this patch just yet. If you want me to dive into a video on any of these patches that I've just kind of scooted across, let me know in the comments. So I'm now going to go to my neck pickup, where I've got a medium gain dialed in. Let's pull that verb back. I can add a chorus to this. This is a medium gain now, with some chorus, delays and verb. Let's put on a centaur. So now we're going to go to the first patch. I'm going to go to a low gain with a compressor. Neck pickup. I'm going to pull the gain up on the guitar. Medium gain now. Both pickup position. High gain on its own. Back pickup. So I'm going to go to both pickup positions. I'm going to go to my low gain. I'm going to stick on the octave, go into the left ear, and I'm going to start playing a riff. Go to my high gain, go to the other ear, stick on a verb, back pickup. Okay, I need to remember to take my loop. Okay, here we go. Got it in, let's go to our high gain and stick on the tube screamer, the phaser, the verbs. Take off the verb, take off the tube screamer, take off the phaser. We're going to go in dry with the compressor on the high gain. add in the Ganymede reverb from the HXeffects. Okay, we're going to end that session there. Hopefully that gave a flavour. Hopefully that sounds alright. Sorry for my poor playing. Sorry the jam might be getting repetitive for those of you who've been following, but what I want to do is use the same jam over all these amps and see what I can do with that jam as we go over these sessions. Hopefully you're well. Take care. Bye bye.